When he said her name, I almost laughed. Not because it amused me, because it was pathetic. Your sister, my father announced, his voice echoing to the boardroom, will be the next COO. Silence. 20 years of my work, erased in a single sentence. I looked from him to her. She couldn't even meet my eyes. This was the same sister who once called me her anchor, who begged me to bring her into the company. I had trained her, trusted her, and now, there she sat, offering a faint smile as the board applauded. I remember my hands trembling, not from rage, but from control. Go on, I said evenly. My voice was calm, too calm. They mistook it for acceptance. But that was the exact moment I began her downfall. I had built that company from nothing. When I started, my father had no capital, no investors, no network, just our last name in an aging factory. I turned that into something real. A $25 million valuation, 700 employees, global clients. I was the engine that kept it all moving. He used to call me his right hand. You'll carry us forward, son. That was his line, until she finished business school and began appearing at meetings like she belonged there. At first, I didn't mind. She was young, eager, inexperienced. I guided her, let her take credit for small ideas that didn't matter. But then her tone changed. Suddenly, I wasn't copied on key memos. Clients I brought in were calling her directly. She even hired a personal PR team. I should have seen it sooner. But betrayal never announces itself. It seeps in quietly through the cracks of trust. The night before the board meeting, I found her presentation hidden on my server, buried under a renamed folder. Her slides were an exact reflection of mine. My strategies, my forecasts, my designs, all rewritten to sound like her vision. Attached to it were my father's notes. Proud of this direction. You've got the instinct. That's when it hit me. It wasn't just her. It was both of them. I didn't react. That's where most people fail. They react. I stayed silent, observant, calculated, and I began rebuilding the company right beneath their feet. 3 months before the announcement, I created a silent subsidiary, legally separate, but linked through hidden partnerships. The best engineers, the most profitable clients, the key IP, all quietly transferred there. I moved the patents one by one, like a surgeon removing organs before the body realizes it's dying. No one knew, not even my closest allies. Meanwhile, I let her play the part. She launched new campaigns, made flashy hires, poured money into rebranding. My father praised her, fresh energy. They thought I was burned out, defeated. That's the thing about silence. It looks like surrender, but silence is simply the space where I sharpen my knives. The day she was named CO, I handed over the reins, signed every document she slid across the table, and watched her beam with pride as she sat in the chair I'd built. Congratulations, I said, standing. It's all yours. It wasn't. 2 weeks later, payroll bounced. Suppliers pulled out. Software licenses expired overnight. The core operation system required authentication. Mine. At 3 a.m., my father called, his voice shaking. What's happening? You gave her the company, I said. You should probably ask her. He didn't understand. Not yet, but she did when she logged into her CEO dashboard. It redirected her to a message I'd written months earlier. You wanted to be me. You forgot. I built the ground you're standing on. By the end of that week, my new company, my real company, acquired there for $1. Legal. Clean. She signed herself, desperate to stop the collapse. When she came in my office afterward, she looked smaller, deflated. Her voice cracked as she said, "You ruined us." "No," I said. "You handed it to me?" She looked at me, really looked, and whispered, "You planned this?" "Of course," I said. "Did you think I built an empire without protecting it?" My father hasn't spoken to me since. He still doesn't see that loyalty isn't inherited. It's earned. I supported that family for a decade, paid for their homes, their comfort, their pride, and they sold me for applause. Now the company thrives, leaner, smarter, entirely mine. Sometimes I walk past the old office, the one she occupied for 12 days. Her nameplate is still there, slightly crooked. I leave it that way. It reminds me what blind trust costs. They wanted legacy. I built survival. And survival, I've learned, doesn't need family, only memory.